It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So, a good performance from both.
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. On the show today, Mumbai IPL franchise register their first win in the league, but fans target Rohit Sharma despite the win. Are fans losing their patience this season and becoming that much more toxic? What is the conundrum that Mumbai as a team is dealing with? Meanwhile, Russian chess grandmaster accuses FIDE of bias and withdraws from the Grand Prix leg to be held in India. Is the chess world biased towards Russia, or are these just plain complaints? And the USA-Canada Cold War continues. Even as Donald Trump continues his tariffs agenda, one company is helping USA boost their economy by investing in the NHL. That America dominates. Will Canadian top brass approve of this? All of that heading your way, but first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with cricket, West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite has stepped down from his role. The board confirmed this. Comes 3 months before their home series against Australia. Under Brathwaite, West Indies won just 10 out of 39 matches. Cricket Australia has announced the 23-man central contract list for the 2025-26 season. Marcus Stoinis and Tim David, despite being key players in Australia's T20 World Cup squad, were left out. Sam Constas, Bo Webster and Matthew Kuhneman have been rewarded for their performances against India in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. On to football. English football club Manchester Chelsea have reported a pre-tax profit of over $166 million. This is a massive turnaround from their pre-tax loss of $116 million the previous year. The club credited this to selling their women's team to Chelsea's parent company. Chelsea are now in compliance with the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules. Meanwhile, Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim has confirmed that Bruno Fernandes will not leave the club this summer. The United captain has been linked with Real Madrid. While United has struggled across competitions, Fernandes has been the standout performer with 16 goals in 44 matches. And Paris Olympic double bronze medalist Manu Bakar will lead the Indian contingent at the ISSF World Cups in Argentina. The Buenos Aires event will take place between April 1 and 11. The Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna awardee will compete in the women's pistol category. Over 400 shooters from 45 countries will feature in South America. India, with 43 shooters, has the largest contingent. It's difficult being Rohit Sharma at this moment. But wait, didn't he just win the Champions Trophy some weeks ago? Yes, he did. It was in fact a resounding comeback by the Indian cricket team in the ODI format after the Test series debacle against Australia just before. But come the Indian Premier League, and seems like Rohit Sharma's fortunes have swung again. This despite Mumbai winning their first game in the tournament last night. They actually registered their quickest victory in this league in 4 years. They made very short work of Kolkata, ensuring they at least have the first win. But that did not stop fans from lashing out against Mumbai's former captain, who's clearly short of runs so far in the league. Quite brutal out there. Rohit Sharma, in fact, won 2 back-to-back ICC titles for India in 2024 and then just a while earlier this year. And he has been trolled for taking up the space of another promising youngster possibly, who would tonk the ball harder and give Mumbai a solid start with the bat at least. It almost feels like fans are running out of patience, like they somehow wish for Rohit Sharma and MS Dhoni to turn back time and go back to some years ago. The truth is that cannot happen. Change is inevitable and fans just need to come to terms with that, realize that times have truly altered, have changed. This isn't to say neither of these two stalwarts will come out and play a blinding cameo in the weeks to come. They just might, and fans fleetingly will probably be lulled into yet another coma of telling themselves that all is well and the world seems back to where it should be. But all the trolling, the memes, the constant critiquing just makes it seem like they are refusing to grow up. Mumbai won last night. The same fans just a year ago were clamoring for Mumbai to reinstate Rohit Sharma as captain once Hardik Pandya was announced, proving how fickle minds truly are. That cricket and the love for the game is being lived in moments of glory. Michael Vaughan, former England captain, has a different take on this, one that could be the popular opinion anytime a superstar is persisted with in a playing 11 despite some glaring failures.
If your name's not Rohit Sharma, you're probably losing your place in the side at some stage with those numbers. They're not good enough. When you're just the batter now, that's how we have to judge Rohit Sharma because he isn't the captain. He needs runs.
But if that were the case, would Rohit Sharma even agree to be just an impact player and come in for one half of the match? No, a superstar will want to be like one throughout, be there right in the thick of it. The fact that he has accepted Mumbai's needs and requirements and altered his own expectations goes to show he's playing for his team, doesn't it? And it's ironical that Mumbai finds itself a target of harbouring a veteran who has not delivered this season just yet. The same Mumbai who is known to scout the rarest of talents and groom them. Like last night, where 23-year-old Ashwani Kumar broke Kolkata's batting and was instrumental in Mumbai's victory. Again, someone who came from the smallest of parts, not really earning much, and had become an overnight sensation. Or some nights ago, when 24-year-old Vignesh Puthur tried to put the brakes on the Chennai batting order. This is the same franchise that has unearthed young talents and groomed them to be superstars, like Jasprit Bumrah, who came here first as a young lanky pacer, or the Pandya brothers. Rohit Sharma himself grew up the ranks from this very franchise before Sachin Tendulkar passed the baton over to him back in 2013. Cricket is not just a game of tactics, numbers and strategies. It isn't just about cold, hard logic all the time. It's emotional. And what's sport without emotions? If Mumbai is a word, Rohit Sharma is their emotion. So some ropes will just have to be a tad bit longer than the rest. And who knows, if a captain could steel himself to stepping down in the last test against Australia, knowing he was not contributing to his team, he's sure to feel and do the same in any other scenario if the situation called for it. Chess's governing body, FIDE, seems to be fighting more battles off the board than hosting on it. Even before the flames from the feud with Magnus Carlsen could settle, we now have Russia and FIDE in the ring. The sports' governing body has been accused of being biased against the country, reigniting the debate of whether Russian players are getting ostracized owing to the Ukraine invasion. Russian chess grandmaster, a two-time chess Olympiad gold medalist, Katerina Lagno, withdrew from the FIDE Grand Prix, which is scheduled to take place in India later this month. The absence of such a high-rated player doesn't bode well for the tournament and the sport, especially given the reasons. So FIDE earlier claimed that she isn't taking part owing to personal reasons, but the Russian has come out refuting FIDE's statement. Lagno wrote a letter to FIDE president Arkady Dvorkovich, which was published by her friend on her social media platform. In the letter, Lagno claimed she was disrespected and humiliated by the jury at the Grand Prix event in Monaco a little over a month ago. So during the Monaco leg of the Grand Prix, there was a special prize for the most beautiful game of the tournament. While Lagno failed to win the title, she felt that her performance in one of the games deserved the prize. The winner was given a Cartier luxury watch, which of course costs over $3,500. The title was decided subjectively by members, so you cannot quite counter this in any way possible. So what Lagno is basically saying is that had she not been a Russian, she would have won this title. And after being denied the prize, she now feels humiliated. That's why she has pulled out of the Indian leg of the tournament. That's a massive allegation from the Russian player. And while FIDE hasn't responded to these yet, Lagno is getting fact-checked by fellow chess players like German grandmaster Elisabeth Pahetz, who competed at the very same event and has quashed Lagno's accusations. She says that nationality had nothing to do with the Russian not getting picked in the category, because the player who was eventually awarded the prize, Alexandra Kostyuk, is herself a Russian-Swiss grandmaster. Pahetz further went and clarified, saying that the sponsor of the prize was also who happened to be a Russian, all indicating that maybe it wasn't down to Lagno's birth country. Although Pahetz claimed that there was favoritism, it wasn't inspired by nationality, at least not here.
Lagno has no ties to Monaco. Kostyuk is not only a member of the Monaco Chess Club, but won many events in Monaco. She is the glory of Monaco chess for decades. Yet to me it looks still like a quick random choice of 2 games.
Kostyuk, the eventual winner, might have looked more appealing to the panel. That's exactly how she puts it. What Lagno is forgetting is that had there been a Russian bias, then a Russian, Arkady Dvorkovich, wouldn't have been sitting on FIDE's highest position, that of president of the board. Ever since Russia invaded Ukraine, the sporting world has banned Russian teams from competing across various sporting events. But in tournaments such as Olympics and chess, where individuals can still take part, they are allowed to play as neutral players. FIDE has done the same. Sure, things have been tricky for Russian athletes post the Ukraine invasion, but this is a moment where players can show that they are no different than the rest of the bunch, that they are competing on the basis of their abilities, their skills. If Lagno was so sure about her skills, shouldn't she have proved so by participating in India? The biggest example, of course, is that of Magnus Carlsen. He doesn't make any bones about his tiff with FIDE. He revolts and rebels. He nags and taunts. He even took a jibe at FIDE by wearing denims, a reason for which he was fined during the World Rapid event. And he shushed all the noise by going ahead and winning the World Blitz title. This episode makes everyone ask, are the Russians threatened by the rise of players from other countries? And are they unable to cope with Russia losing their monopoly in the sport entirely? A lot of dynamics in the world is set to change with US President Donald Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. The trade balance will get affected with America's massive tariff impositions. Countries that are likely to suffer the most are USA's neighbors, Canada and Mexico. And while America is threatening to derail Canada's economic stability, Canada themselves is boosting their neighbors' economy. Their love for ice hockey is acting as the medium for this. A Canadian media company is set to renew their multi-billion-dollar deal to broadcast games in Canada. And while at one end there are anti-America sentiments all across Canada, is the media company helping America with this deal? Our next report dives deeper.
You can take a Canadian out of their country, but not the love they have for the most popular sport, ice hockey, out of them. The sport is ingrained in Canada's culture so much so that it's almost a ritual. But the same sport might become the reason behind a setback in the ongoing Cold War between Canada and the United States. US President Donald Trump, in the quest of making America great again, will impose tariffs on Liberation Day, a decision that has faced massive backlash in Canada. Because more taxes on Canadian imports means a major dent to the country's economic rise, which is the reason why even the previous Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the current Prime Minister Mark Carney were clear about one thing: to show America that Canada isn't going to back down over the tariff impositions. Basically, not be the walkovers in Trump's agenda. Even sporting fans made it clear through their consistent booing of the US national anthem during sporting ties between the two countries. But do the business entities in the country feel the same? The latest developments say otherwise. Rogers Communications, a Canadian-based media company, is set to sign a multi-billion-dollar deal to broadcast NHL games in Canada. The deal is reportedly worth $7.7 billion for a 12-year span, which is more than double the amount the same company paid in 2013. Clearly, Rogers and the country's love for ice hockey is coming between Canada and their firm resistance to Trump's rigid stance. And while the NHL isn't entirely a US-based league, the biggest benefactor from this is the United States of America. The current division of NHL teams is entirely dominated by Americans. While America has 25 teams, Canada, with 7, has less than 30% of the total number of teams. And the reason why this is important is because more American teams means more revenue share for USA. The broadcast revenue is divided among teams, and that directly impacts the profit share that American teams take home. So Canada is basically not only helping boost the popularity of American teams in their own country, but also making them richer. And if the deal does go through, the only silver lining for Rogers is that they beat an American company, Amazon, to secure the rights, because Amazon was considered to be their toughest competitor in here. The other interesting thing to note about this deal is that while a Canadian company is paying over $7.5 billion, the American broadcasters for the same are paying $4.5 billion over 7 years combined. ESPN and Turner Sports were contracted by NHL in 2021 with this proposed deal. Sure, the duration is lesser for the American broadcasters, but the Canadian company will be bonded to pay at least the signed money. And this comes at a time when Trump's tariffs threaten to weaken the Canadian dollar. So even if Canada's economy plummets, Rogers will still have to pay the amount promised. The question is, does Rogers Communications even get the profit they're looking for? Because investors and analysts have questioned the profitability of such an investment. Now, playoffs is where TV rights are the most valuable, as advertisers pay more money, given more viewers tune in to watch the crucial games. And historically, Canadian NHL teams have struggled to go all the way to the playoffs. Now would be the most ideal time to remember Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's words, something he said after Canada beat America in the Ice Hockey Four Nations final earlier this year.
Americans should make no mistake in trade, as in hockey, Canada will win. But this victory will not be easy. We are facing the most significant crisis of our lives. We will have to do extraordinary things together.
While the country did win the international hockey battle against their neighbors, are they really winning the off-field battle that comes with the sport? Are they playing smart off the field is the question.
Time for last serve. We take you to France, where the Air Kite World Championships took place. 24 men and 12 women competed in a stadium-like setup. Watch the players navigate windy weather to win top honors. Take a look. That wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye. Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.